Hey guys, thanks for tuning in tonight to Dogman Stories. I wanted to do a show dedicated to all my fans for making this all possible. During the show, I've got some fan shout outs on the screen. Now, if you don't see your name, don't be angry. Every week I'm going to do some fan shout outs, and your name will be up there eventually. But guys, I want to say thank you to each and every one of you. So I decided to do a special unplanned show. I know all you guys and gals enjoy the Dogman stories, whether they're on my channel or another channel. So I decided what better way to say thank you than to show you guys a video. So without further ado, Dogman stories. Campfire stories. My family and I decided to take a camping trip one weekend up to Kentucky. There's a perfect little campground up there that is perfect for families. You don't have much to worry about danger-wise, and it's fairly cheap. So as long as you have your camping gear, all you need is food and gas. We left on a Thursday night from the house around 7 p.m. and arrived Friday morning around 8:30 a.m. No one was hardly there yet, so that was good for us. We had first choice of the best camping spots. We drove around looking for what we thought would suit us best. We finally found one. It was perfect. Lakefront, level ground, boat access, fishing spots right outside the tent, even had a grill and electricity box where we could run a drop cord, which was great for us. We always took drop cords so we could plug up extra lights and use the radio. What's camping without a little bit of tunes to relax to? After we picked our spot out, we unpacked all of our gear and decided to go walking around. There were plenty of trails to hike on, and my wife and I love to hike, so we talked about maybe later coming back and going hiking. Our two daughters were with us on this trip. They aren't exactly country girls, if you know what I mean. Cell phones and iPods, that's all that is interesting to them. Not to mention they were in this horrible teenage years. The oldest was 16 and the youngest was 14, so they were right there together on everything, which made everything twice as bad. Yelling, screaming, fighting over anything all the time. It was just crazy. So my wife and I needed a break, and the campground offered that, especially having Wi-Fi for them to plug their phones into the entire time to keep them out of our hair, thank goodness. So the girls pitched their own tents and decided to stay on their phones forever. That was fine with me. It gave Karen and I plenty of alone time. I cooked on the grill for lunch, and we all ate like we had never seen food before. It's something about camping that makes me stay hungry. As I was cooking, I kept seeing flashes of something in the woods. I thought maybe a squirrel was running behind trees, so I didn't pay it any mind. I figured it was the smell of my good cooking that was attracting the wildlife. The girls ate and went back to their tents to hop right back on their phones. So Karen and I decided to get in our kayaks and venture around the lake. We were about an hour into it and had got a pretty good ways from the camping site. We were near an area that was all woods, no homes or businesses, just wildlife. We started hearing something in the trees. I thought it was a bear climbing up and down the trees, but it was so neat. The brush was so thick that this bear had climbed a tree to look at us. Wow! We had encountered an extraordinary animal, and it was checking us out. I was amazed. I was in a daze staring at this bear. My wife slowly paddles next to me and hands me the binoculars and whispers to me, "What is that?" "A bear," I told her. "No, it's not. Look at it." I looked at it through the binoculars. Holy shit, what is that? I've got a clear view of it. I thought it was a bear in a tree. That's what it looked like to the naked eye. But when I put the binoculars on it, it was an entirely different animal. It appeared to be a bear-dog hybrid mix of some sort. Its head was huge. It was black. It had a long snout with big teeth. It didn't have a bear's face. Huh. It had a dog-like mutated face. And it had hands with claws climbing around on that tree like it was a pro. I was in disbelief. I stared at it for a few more minutes. It stared at me for a few more minutes. It started to smell the air, and then it just let go and skidded down the tree like a bear does. It happened so fast it was unbelievable for a moment. I thought it fell, but it didn't. And then all of a sudden it was on the bank right at the end of the water staring at us. Oh my God, this thing is walking on 2 feet. 2 feet! What is that? I don't know, but let's slowly back out of here. I don't want it to leap on our kayaks. Karen noticed it was smelling the air like it had picked up a scent. Why does it keep doing that? She asked me. I don't know. How much perfume did you put on this morning? She slapped me with her kayak paddle. Screw you. It can't smell my perfume. You want to bet? If it's like a bear, it can. Well, what do you think it is? I don't know, woman. What do you think it is, man? Well, I'm not sure, but when we get back to camp, we're going to find out. Karen looked worried. Do you think we should stay here with this thing out here? Yeah, it's all the way over here. We'll be fine. It didn't seem dangerous. Okay, if you say so. You're the man of the house. That's right, I am, and I will protect my girls. She smiled, and we paddled our way back to our campsite. When we returned, the girls were in their tents where we left them, which I knew they would be. I got my computer out and started searching. I ran across photos of Dogman. Holy shit, I thought to myself, that's it. I didn't mention it to my wife. I didn't want to scare her or the girls, so I just left it alone. We had sandwiches for dinner that night. I was too tired to cook. We all tucked in for the night, and before I knew it, I was out. I woke up to my wife poking me. What? Shh! Listen, do you hear that? I sat up. For a moment, I stood there and listened. I don't hear anything. So I laid back down. You're not going to check it out? No. Why would I? I didn't hear anything. It's just little critters running around. Nothing to be afraid of. Okay. And just as soon as I said that, this horrific growling right outside our tent started. We just looked at each other. Oh shit, what was that? Karen asked me. I don't know. I got up, put my clothes on and my shoes, unzipped the tent as quietly as I could, got out and looked around. I told my wife to wake the girls and get into the van. She didn't refuse. In the back of my mind, I had thought of what I had seen earlier on the internet, and that thing we had seen while kayaking. Could it have made it all the way over here? How would it know where we're at? I wonder if it smells us. I grabbed a flashlight and was shining it all around. Nothing. I started hearing growling and running in the woods as if it was circling me. I couldn't pinpoint it. It was too fast. Then as quick as it showed up, it was gone. I stood there trying to catch my breath and leaned against the tree and told the kids to get out. and all of a sudden, everyone started screaming, and something swiped my flashlight out of my hands and knocked it into the water. It was in the tree. Oh shit, I ran and it hit me, knocked me to my feet, and it made me fall. I tried to catch myself, but eventually I just went ahead and fell. I rolled around for a little bit and jumped back up on my feet. I heard a thump. I didn't even turn around. I got up as fast as I could, jumped in the passenger seat, and my wife hauled ass out of there. It followed us for about a mile, right behind the car. It suddenly veered off into the woods. We left $1,200 worth of camping gear there that night and never went back and got it. We called the police, they laughed and hung up. I'm not crazy. This happened, and this is the worst thing that has ever happened to me. The worst part is my daughters and wife got a full view of this thing. They said it was a werewolf. Since the encounter, I have prepped my home so these things cannot get in. I'm not saying they are around here yet, but when they come, I'll be ready. Thanks for listening to my story, and I hope you believe me, Randy. Wow, Randy, that was quite an encounter. As always, if you need anything, contact us here at Dogman Stories. And for the rest of you, I hope you enjoyed, and good night.